Hey, what's up, guys? Toogie here, back again with another episode of my Carolina Hurricanes franchise mode series right here on NHL 19. Today, we continue onward with the 2026-2027 season. Yet again, it was an off-season of change, and as a result, we are currently on the outside looking in when it comes to the playoff structure. That would be mainly due to Spencer Knight's struggles, as frustrating as that is. As John happened to say, goaltending inconsistency has absolutely been a curse in this series. And with Spencer Knight, here's what we're going to do. If we're going to make the playoffs this year, it's going to require him to turn it around. If he can't turn it around, we might as well be done with him. But here's the issue. Again, I'm not allowed to cheese the AI. So despite the fact it's a 91 overall goalie, I won't be able to trade him for fair value. He'll still have decent value, but it's a nightmare scenario for us if Spencer Knight can't turn it around, as frustrating as that is. I will also note, though, because we do have something to do here, but I'll note before that, you looked at the wrong Corso when you went back and made the CBJ trade. That's a side effect of me recording while tired. Good thing I'm not recording while tired this time, right? Oh boy, let's see how I managed to screw up today, right? Because on top of that mistake, there was also the mistake of trading the wrong player. I traded Alex Turcotte instead of Theo Rocher, which I'm going to try to rectify that mistake because Theo and the third line in general has not been that great this season. So Let's try to recoup the player that I got rid of before, and maybe that combined with a little bit of luck will be what it takes for us to find some success this season. I highly doubt it, but hey, a man can dream. So obviously, we're going to have to give up a decent amount to make this happen. At this point, I'm fine with it. We have the draft picks. I'll give up whatever to make this happen because it almost doesn't matter at this point. If we have to give up the 2 first-rounders to get him back, so be it. I mean, it's not really worth it, but I'll do it because, hey, I made a dumb mistake in the first place. Although, if it's any more expensive than this, then goddamn it, screw it. God damn it, screw it. I'm not doing that. That's a bit too much. So, yeah, made the mistake of trading Turcotte and not Theo, which I apologize for profusely because that was very, very dumb. But yeah, shit happens is my only response. I do want to see how well Turcotte's done this year. Never mind, I'm getting him back. Never mind, I'm getting him back. He might be exactly what we need for this whole thing to turn around. So screw it. I don't care how expensive it is. We have draft picks. Let's do it. I'm going to trade our own first because I'm going to bank on ourselves to actually do well this year and make the playoffs. So that'll be the way we handle it. It's going to cost 2 goddamn first rounders. We'll hand them their own right back. Let's safety net it. With a third. Still rejected. Jesus Christ. How expensive is he going to be? I mean, I get it. They don't want to get rid of him. I wouldn't either with how well he's doing. There we go. 2 firsts, a third, and Theo, which was needed to get Alex Turcotte back, who shouldn't have been traded in the first place. Again, it was a mistake on my part. But the deal is done. And we get Alex Turcotte back into the mix. Now, again, 19 points from Svechnikov, Peterson with 20. You have Nathan McKinnon leading the way. The second line, the point production's been there, but defensively they've been shaky. And the third line, it's been okay. But if you factor in the addition of Alex Turcotte, this could end up being much, much better. And again, just what the doctor ordered. Time will tell. So I'm going to go ahead and swap those 2 for now. We'll leave it as is. Obviously, we still have concerns for this season. That third pairing's not really getting it done, but I think we're good for now. In terms of the goal for the season, the most thumbs up one, even then there was a point of contention. So I'm just not sure if it's a matter of people being over that idea at this point or whatnot. But I think, again, we're gonna continue onward without a defined goal. You know what the goal is? For this team to not underperform to the point where we have to partially blow it up and look to reset, because we don't really have time for that. We don't. Odds are the new and likely final series for NHL 19 will be starting soon, which means this is heading towards the end. The only way it doesn't head towards the end as, planned and as expected is if stubbornly I hold on for longer than I planned in effort to win. And it's just not looking all that likely right now, as Josh Manson is terrible at this point, so we'll pass on that. I don't know. I mean, right now, we're granted only 4 games in, but it hasn't been an ideal start. I'm scared for this. You don't want to end a series with a failure. And not winning a cup with this team would be a failure, despite the restrictions that we placed upon ourselves, or really myself, with this team. We've still built a really good team. There's no denying that. But to not win with it would be incredibly frustrating. And to see how well the Philadelphia Flyers are doing, you have to wonder, as Par Pedersen will be out with a damn fractured ankle until February. So, Brett Leeson, congratulations. You're going to be in the lineup for a decent amount of time. We split those 2 games against Philly. We're at 18-1 on the year, which is just not good enough. Right now, we are 7 points out of a playoff spot as of January 1st. And I just don't know if I like our chances. What changes can we make? Spencer Knight is just not getting it done. He has been brutal. Tristan Jarry has been okay for a backup, but he's only seen 9 games worth of action. Defensively, Riley's been fine, and thankfully the third pairing's turned it around, but Bean and Byram, which did not work as a pairing, you have Bean and Byram not working, and then Bean still struggling with Morgan Riley. So I think we put Bean with Middlestat, even though, Middlestat hasn't been that bad. I think that's what we have to do. So Riley will be on that right-hand side. We'll have Bean and Middlestat. We'll have Bean on the right-hand side as well for the 1-tee shot. All lefties on defense right now, which really hurts. But that'll be the defensive setup moving forward. Forward-wise, 32 points in 37 games for Svechnikov. You have 29 points in 34 games for Dylan Peterson, and then obviously McKinnon leading the way as our leading scorer. The second line, Robertson, 23 points. You have Esa Alto at 23 points, and Mario Dupont at 21, but the plus-minus of that line is, at least in some aspects, concerning. Alto is the only untouchable there. And then third line, Trevor Zegras with 20 points. You have Alex Turcotte with 26, and then Cody Berard with 18. So I'm going to drop Robertson and Dupont, and we're going to have the struggling third line as a unit. And we'll find out whether or not that's the right choice. The centers here, it'll be Ray, Leeson, Allen on the fourth line. That third line, let's see who can play center well. Cody Berard. And I know Alex Turcotte and Zegras are both great centers. It will be Turcotte. That's going to be the squad moving forward. We need to hope to hell that... hope to hell? Hope like hell. Hope to hell. Pray to Satan. Pray to Jesus. Pray to whoever. This team needs to turn it around. Spencer Knight specifically needs to turn it around, or this is going to very quickly become a very depressing episode as we realize that we're not exactly a playoff team. Shoot me in the hand just to have it hurt but not kill me. Andrei Svechnikov hurt with an injured foot. That sucks. Because obviously now we have to call somebody up too, with Brett Leeson already being in the lineup. So that's a nightmare. Based off of waivers, I mean, it's either going to be Gugnot or Bradley. The Guggenot. I'm calling him Guggenot from now on. That's obviously not how you pronounce it, but come on. Gaspard Guggenot. The Goog. But Eric Bradley's actually killing it, so we're going to give Eric Bradley the chance at the NHL level for the very first time. Apologies to the Goog. But let's go just outright Bradley on that top unit. Although, shit. Nope, back that at lines, thank you. It's going to be the shootout line, isn't it? 3-on-3, actually. Why that doesn't change automatically? Don't know. Pretty dumb, but don't know. There we go, and then we'll go best lines for the Charlotte Checkers. Congrats to the Goog for becoming an alternate captain. Now, since we've made the changes, our offense is friggin' killing it. I mean, we're on a point streak as well. Chris Dreger ends up with a fractured elbow. It's only going to keep him out for a month, though. That seems a little bit low. As we win again, Reese Ray was roughed up, but he is back to 100%. And Luke Mittelstadt goes down to a concussion. Thankfully, Joe Saccone is there, so we don't have to edit anything. And maybe we found a winning formula. Maybe Spencer Knight is just starting to figure it out. But we're off to a very good start here as we hit the halfway point of January. And another win there against Ottawa. Matthew Fierro goes down to injury too for the Checkers, who aren't exactly killing it thus far. And Mittelstadt's back. So I don't know, again, if it's the line combinations or what the deal is. But we're cooking right now, and that's good. Spencer Knight has started to turn it around. That's literally all it takes. The offense is doing very well. We've had some high-scoring games here this month. And we've still yet to lose in regulation. We will now because I said that. It's another shootout loss. As we have, I think... No, not the Goog. The Goog is hurt. We have 2 more games left this month with a chance to not lose in regulation, which would be absolutely insane. Oh, my God. Eric Bradley was a point a game. He's not even that good. Like, he has a good shot, but the offensive awareness is low. My God, I feel bad about taking Eric Bradley out. But I have to. I feel like I have to. I do. I have to take him out. But my God, what a run from Eric Bradley. Insane as we look to send him back down. Of course, thankfully, he doesn't have to go through waivers. We'll get Andrei Svechnikov back. The fact that we've been doing this without Svechnikov is crazy. And then again, that's all it took. Like, the team started to play better, and Spencer Knight started to stop pucks. I was going to say stopped to start pucks. Tired, as I mentioned. But thankfully, we're looking much better now. Let's see what happens here again. 2 games left as we pass the totally not all-star break. The Goog is back. And we'll go to player morale. Again, we're just going to half-ass it at this point because the system is just seemingly broken. Seemingly is putting it nicely, but that's okay. We play Vegas and Calgary. Can we make it through this month without losing in regulation? Vegas is able to beat us in a shootout. Calgary, look at that. We went through the entire month of January without losing in regulation. We're up to 27-18 and 5 on the year. And in a wild card spot as of February 1st, 3 points back of the New York Islanders, 2 points ahead of the Bruins, who are the current 8th seed. So we will march forward. Let's get closer to the deadline and see what we're dealing with. You know what? We'll just sim straight up to deadline day, and we'll make our choice from there. As Chris Dreger is back for the Checkers. We end up beating Pittsburgh 7-2. Hitting 30 wins here would be nice as we finally lose a game in regulation to the Buffalo Sabres. And Larry Koslake has been hurt, injured with a concussion. Oh my God, the Hershey Bears. 7-34-5, was it? As we get decked by New Jersey. Jack Hughes says hello. Oh, you're feeling good about your team finally putting it together? Yeah, don't forget we exist. And there's a good chance you're going to come up against us in the playoffs. Frickin' New Jersey, man. My God, as we lose for the third time in 4 games, Per Pettersson. I think it's Par, though, because Par Lindholm is pronounced Par, but it's spelled Pear. Who the hell knows? Leeson was at least inoffensive, but not an offensive force, as Pettersson will regain his spot in the lineup. Let's get Reese Ray back at center. Third line. Oh, Mario. Okay. So that third line offensively it's okay, but defensively they're getting rocked. But Zigra, Turcotte, and Nessa Alto have been solid. Top line's been solid too, so I think we just have to deal with the fact that they're absolutely horrific defensively. It's really the only way to put it. I mean, Dupont is a playmaker, is on point. Robertson is a sniper. I mean, Cody Berard has a hell of a shot, but I don't know what the answer is for them. We're going to leave everything the same for now, though. We'll get Pettersson back in, and we'll see what happens over the next 2 weeks. I can't imagine we're going to be in a position to sell as Owen Power goes down to injury. We're going for it, at least. Like, it's not worst case scenario, oh my God, we're terrible, trade Spencer Knight. Like, at the very least, we know we're pretty much going for it. There might be a move to be made at the deadline in terms of strengthening the team. Although me having to make up for the mistake of accidentally trading the wrong guy certainly hurts the assets that we have to maybe go out, and Turcotte hurts his neck. Speak of the devil. It's going to hurt our chances to go out and get a high-value asset. I mean, but then again, you look at the last high-powered asset we picked up at the deadline. That was Jamie Benn. How much did that do for us in the playoffs? Exactly. So we have won 5 straight games. We play Los Angeles, our final game before deadline day arrives. Apparently Owen Power's pissed about the ice time, but that's fine. As we beat the Kings 6-5, and Alex Turcotte is back from injury. So let's take out Brett Leeson, get Turcotte back, and with that, we're looking okay. I don't know why Owen Power's complaining about ice time. He's getting exactly as much ice time as you would expect. So, let's sim to the day. 2 days out. 35, 21, and 5. Currently in third place in the Metro, which is not ideal at all, because it would be playing Philly. But then, I mean, yeah, we'd still be playing New Jersey unless New Jersey, well, no, yeah, then it would be Toronto coming over to this side of the bracket. Oh, it's a nightmare. I don't know what I'd prefer us to finish as the wild card team. If we could move over to the Atlantic side of the bracket, we'd be laughing all the way to the bank. We would be laughing. We're on pace to be the top team in the Atlantic if we were in the Atlantic. So as much as I hate rooting for us to lose, if the Islanders could pass us, that would be great. So, in terms of this team, let's take a look, because I don't know if I want to do anything in terms of trades, right? Goaltending first, Spencer Knight is average, but average for him works, and Tristan Jarry as a backup's been fine. So, we're going to run with it. Defensively, Bowen Byram, again, not a point getter for whatever reason, but he is a plus 12. Continuing to be the shutdown defenseman that we need. We still have him listed as a two-way. I might as well just change him to a defensive D. Morgan Riley has returned to form, which is huge for us. Luke Middlestat, 10 points and a plus 10. Jake Bean has 35 points and a plus 2. Ola Tiemander, 5 points and a plus 8. And you have Owen Power, 15 goals and a plus 1. So in theory, could we pick up some better options? Maybe. But for what Owen Power provides as a third pairing guy, probably not going to get any better. Ola Tiemander's 20 years old. And then second pairing, You could get someone better than Luke Mittelstadt, but he's been inoffensive. And then Bowen Byram is at least a shutdown option as well. So that's the thing. Like Byram and Mittelstadt, we could look for better options, but they've at least been decent defensively. I mean, it's fine. Like, yeah, we could flip Byram and draft picks, which again, we still have 2 first-round picks. I honestly don't feel that bad about flipping the picks that I did because who cares? I had to move them anyway, if you think about it, because I'm not allowed to have 4 first-round picks in this series. So it's interesting, but I don't know if I want to pick up another defenseman. And the top line, I mean, Svechnikov's going nowhere. He's nearly a point a game. Dylan Peterson's developed into our top-line center. He's over a point a game. And Nathan MacKinnon has finally seen the return to form. He has as many points already this season as he's had over the past 2 seasons in terms of total points. He's finally returning to form. He's not quite, pre-8-year deal Nathan MacKinnon, but he's getting there. And then second line, Trevor Zegras has been pretty damn good for a second liner. 42 points. I'll take that. On pace to break 50. Alex Turcotte, since we reacquired him, 39 points, not bad. A plus 22 is phenomenal. And then Esa Alto has 55 points. So I'm loving that second line right now. Turcotte's the weak link of that second line. He's still a plus 22. Third line, Robertson has 38 points, so I can forgive the minus 7. Cody Berard, 26 points and a minus 8. It's fine. And then Mario Dupont. Again, that third line, they can put up points, but the plus-minus is a little bit concerning. And then the fourth line, Pedersen's great. Reese Ray's great. Allenen's great. There's really nothing we can do. There's nothing we can... what are we going to upgrade? All right? What? Am I going to move Dupont or Berard and a draft pick to get a legitimate number 1 center and roll? Why? Dylan Peterson's clearly a number 1 center. There's no changes to make to the top 6. In theory, we could go out and if there's a good center available, make that deal happen. Maybe we flip, we'd have to flip one of these third liners or Turcotte in the deal because, of course, we're not allowed to play these guys on a lower line. Dupont, in theory, again, for a third liner, he's doing well. All of these guys for third liners are doing well in terms of point production. You could just argue, you might be able to have someone who's on a little bit better of a point pace than Turcotte. But again, he's a plus 22. It's not as if he's been bad this year. He's obviously doing something right. So, I don't know. We'll take a quick look. But at this rate, I just see this as we're going to finish up the regular season. And we're going to go for it with the team that we have. Unless there is clearly a top-notch player available that we just have to go for to improve our chances. And preferably, who's on an expiring deal. And that's looking like that might be a rarity. Vasily Podkolzin. But even then, he's not killing it. You'd also have Josh Anderson on a 1-year deal. Pillman and Corso. I don't remember if that was... I don't think that was the same Corso. The 2 Corsos. Dallas, nobody there that we'd want. Detroit, nobody there. Bryson's a nobody for the most part. Oh, boy. There's that yawn. Woo! We're fighting through it. Don't worry. We got this. Alex Romanoff is a minus 21. Don't think I'm going for him. Just call it a hunch. Nobody there on a 1-year deal. I would want a pure rental. And it ain't happening. Zibanejad and Shaw. I think we're fine. Okay, well, Victor Hedman. Hold on. Shaw has barely played. Zibanejad. The Rangers suck. Victor Hedman. 36-year-old Victor Hedman. We would have to move one of our top 4, which means probably Byram or Mittelstadt for 1 season. Just get that yawn out of there. It's fine. Don't worry about it. For 1 season of Victor Hedman. It's just not worth it. It's just not. to have to give them up for 1 year. Now, again, you could argue, like, oh, what if there's someone who's available for more than 1 year? But odds are we're not likely to find them for cheap. I mean, hell, there may be someone that I've missed, but like I said, I think the squad that we have is going to provide us the best chance. I mean, again, Pesce has 3 years left. He's not actually a 90 overall, of course. Timothy Liljegren, is he worth it? I mean, we know he's a top 4 defenseman. How big of an upgrade is he on Byron Mittelstadt? Are we good with Bean and Riley being the 2 main defensemen that put up points? I'm not against it. Neil in Vegas. I think we're fine. And that might be the problem, that we're only fine instead of great. And I certainly know on paper another defenseman is pretty much what we're missing. You could argue, again, a better center than Turcotte. But we do have the ability to mix and match these lines. I mean, again, out of the middle 6, Essa Alto is the only one who's not allowed to be dropped a line. But Turcotte, Ziegler, and the entire third line can be mixed around depending on how players are doing. I mean, Turcotte's pretty much there anyway. He should technically be a second-line guy. It's just, do we want to try and get a better defenseman? But it's not as if that top 4, amongst the defense is weak. I think we're going to stick with it. We're going to go for it. And we're going to hope for the best. Because I just don't see, with the rules of this series, I just don't see that defenseman available that's going to make this happen for us, that gets to play alongside Morgan Riley, and that turns this into something special. Because otherwise, a top 2 defenseman, if the team doesn't want to trade them, we don't have the assets to get that. We just don't. Those type of players are far, far too expensive. Oh my God. Between the yawning and Minnesota and the amount of friggin' defensemen they have, Jesus. New Jersey, Nashville, the Islanders, why do you have so many goddamn defensemen? Stop paying for that many defensemen. You're screwing yourself over with the cap. Stop it. Be smarter. Oh my God, Pittsburgh sucked. No top 4 defensemen. I bet you they have 17 goaltenders for no reason, even though you're only allowed to have 6. All right, yeah, we're fine. Let's see what happens, damn it. For better or for worse, I am putting my faith into the team that got us to this point. Let's see where we end this season in terms of the standings. Ideally, we'll do well. The problem is, the better we do, the more likely we are to be on a collision course to take on Jack Hughes and the New Jersey Devils yet again. And while we were able to put up a fight, last season did not end well. And now here we are losing games hand over fist, which, hey, I might be getting, might be getting what I want. Might be getting what I want here. Might be getting what I'm asking for. Which, be careful what you wish for. I'm also aware, based off of where I cut that off and said might be getting, it sounded a bit awkward, but that's okay. Or maybe it just sounded awkward to me. I don't know. It's okay. We've hit 40 wins on the year, and I'm about ready to pass out in my chair, but at the same time, I'm amped. I'm excited. I'm pumped. I want to see how this team does, damn it. And I want to see what we're set up for heading into this postseason. Joe Ciccone has been brutal as our depth defenseman. Absolutely brutal. I'm getting a little bit worried. But yet I'm positive at the same time. I thought there was going to be a major injury for the Hurricanes. It was for the Checkers. Oh my God. The yawning, the injuries. Everything's happening. All of it. All of it's happening. Everything. The injuries, the simming, the winning, the losing. And we're doing a lot of winning and a lot of scoring goals right now. Jesus, the offense is killing it again. Let's go ahead and get Saccone out of there. Hey, look at that. He got a point. -4 now instead of -5. Look out, world. Look out. As we play Philadelphia, Pittsburgh, and Toronto. Good old Toronto. Toronto. Or again, The Rock said Toronto back in 2003. It's ingrained in my head forevermore. Jake Bean was apparently roughed up. Let's see where we stand. 46, 26, and 6. We are definitely a playoff team. 4 games left this season. Call it a hunch. I think we're going to be a top 3 team in the Metro. Maybe not. The Islanders could catch us, which is music to my ears because I so want to go to the Atlantic side of the bracket. The 8th seed is basically guaranteed to come from the Atlantic. It's going to be Ottawa or Toronto. Columbus is a bit too far behind. So as long as the Islanders jump us, if we choke, and I am going to intentionally try to choke here, although I can't. It's against the rules. I can't set like our top line down to our 4th line. Shit. Please lose to New Jersey. Please. We're going to win now that I want us to lose, right? Because that's just how it works. 7-4. Oh, God. It's going to be Philadelphia. Okay. Oh, God. We're 4 points clear of the Islanders. The Islanders can only tie our current point total. What's our ROW at right now? It might be confirmed that we're the 3 seed. Yeah, we're the 3 seed. We are the 3 seed. If we win 1 game or get 1 point out of our final 3 games, we are the 3 seed. So this is a playoff preview. Barring a miracle, we will be taking on the Philadelphia Flyers in the first round. We do beat them 4-2. Following that, it'll likely be a matchup against the New Jersey Devils. We are 4 points clear. We are 5 points back. We already know what's going to happen here. Let's take on the Islanders. Their final game of the season, they beat us 6-1. And our final game of the year is against the Columbus Blue Jackets. We win it 4-3. And that will do it for the regular season. We finish 4 points ahead of the Islanders, who win the lottery and get to move to the Atlantic side of the bracket to take on Boston. We will be taking on Philadelphia in round 1. Again, the winner likely to face New Jersey unless Ottawa pulls off an ungodly upsets. It's nice to make the playoffs. It's just a damn shame knowing that we're going to have to go through a very, very good team to get there. Although, in terms of regulation plus overtime wins, we were ahead of them by 6, which is insane. We'll take a look here at goal scoring. Goals for, I'd imagine New Jersey was the best in the league, right? Yeah, a 3.93 was the best in the league. We had a top 6 offense, though. Philly was 3rd. So that's scary. For the record, the lowest were the Rangers. We had 3 teams finish with less than 3 goals a game. Goals against the Rangers, Jesus Christ, they were terrible. Goals against, we were a bottom 6 team. Philly was in 4th. This is going to be a slugfest in the first round, an absolute slugfest. Power play, we were at 25. The Flyers at 23. 29 was the best for Edmonton, so a top 10 power play, technically 8th. And our penalty kill is at 77.5%, which is mid-table. Philadelphia, the second best PK in the league. I am not looking forward to this matchup with the Flyers at all. The winner of that series could very well go on to win the damn cup. Goaltending. Spencer Knight was able to get back to a decent number, and that was good enough to get us into the playoffs. If we get Vezina caliber Spencer Knight, we're going to win the cup. It's all on him. Tristan Jarry was a solid backup this year. I give him credit. Defensively, Morgan Riley returned. I don't know where he went, But Morgan Rielly returned. Again, 40, 45 points, not bad, but that's the Morgan Rielly that we need. The true number one defenseman. Jake Bean had a solid season as well. Finished as a plus 11 rating. Wasn't looking like he would. But again, near 40-point season for him. Owen Power at 27 points, 18 goals, which is great. Middlestat and Byram, strong shutdown options. And Ola Timander, who randomly made this team after we signed him as a free agent, was also pretty strong. So, fairly confident in this defense. We'll probably get Luke Middlestat off of the power play. Might even get Owen Power off of the power play, although keeping him there could be beneficial. But obviously Bean and Rielly are the two that we're mainly going to worry about. And I mean, you look here, Middlestat and Byram really brought the physicality. Timander as well. Power, Bean, not really checkers. Rielly's up there a little bit. You look at the block shots, and unfortunately the giveaway to takeaway ratio is brutal for Byram, and Middlestat for that matter. But the extra physicality and the shot blocking that they bring to the lineup, that's really where they thrive. In terms of points amongst forwards, McKinnon and Peterson over point per game on the year. Great to see Nathan McKinnon return to form. And again, Dylan Peterson out of nowhere decided he wanted to be our number one center. I mean, last year at 56 points in 57 games. His emergence has been incredible over the past 3 seasons. Essa Alto, what a deal with the LA Kings. 76 points in 82 games. Absolutely ridiculous for a second liner. Svechnikov, 67 points in 73 games. From there, it drops off a little bit, but you're talking about Simon Robertson, a middle six guy, putting up 57 points is great. Zigra at 56, DuPont 53, and Turcotte at 52, all tremendous. Berard puts up 32 points, which is good for a third liner. Ray for 28 points is great for a fourth liner. Same for Allen and same for Pedersen. I mean, everybody hit their point marks where you'd want them to be, if not outright smashed it out of the park. So no complaints with the offense, although you know who's going to be at the top here. It's a given. Yeah, Jack Hughes and Taylor Hall for sure, and Braden Point. You also had McDavid, Rice, and Otterati. But overall, I'm fairly happy with what the team accomplished this year, the return to form, and I'm intrigued to see how we're going to do in the playoffs. Again, there are names here that you wouldn't expect to necessarily be higher than some of the people that we have on our team, but our overall team's scoring ability, everyone on this team can put up points. I'm excited to see what happens, but again, even if we get through Philadelphia, New Jersey's going to be there. Unless Ottawa pulls off the upset of the century, we are in trouble. In terms of goaltending, Tyler Parsons via glitch is going to win the Vezina. It would have rightfully gone to Andrei Vasilevsky or probably Jesper Eliasson, based on the amount of games played. Maybe even Kaltonen. A couple of decent shouts, but it's going to go to Parsons. In terms of rookie scorers, it is Nolan Duda. Mario Dupont's going to finish just shy, although 31 goals for Duda. It is rightfully his, unless Parson was considered a rookie goaltender. And at this point, I don't think he was, but you never know. It could have just taken him forever to get to the NHL. So there you have it, although I am intrigued by the Ottawa Senators here. Their goaltender, Jeremy Swayman, UMaine and Boston Bruins prospect. Defensively, I mean, they have Brandstrom, Shabbat, and Hedman, Bernard Docker, Lajoie. Maybe it's possible. We have to hope so. But maybe Ottawa can pull off the miracle. Unfortunately for us, we can't look too far ahead. We take on the Philadelphia Flyers in round 1. The Hurricanes back in the playoffs for what could be the penultimate season in this series. Probably 2 more seasons after this at the most. Pressure's on. Pressure is on. We have to win. And we have to win soon.